Shalom Aleichem Malachi Ashores Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malchi Hamelochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Malachi Ashores Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malchi Hamelochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Malachi Ashores
Hello everyone, this is the third in the series of controversies against singing Shalom Aleichem. So after dealing with two peripheral issues, namely delaying the meal Friday night as well as requesting on Shabbos, we now get to the actual Shalom Aleichem. So you should know that the Gemara actually brings the story we were all told by our kindergarten teachers. One of our kindergarten teachers probably told us that on a Friday night, if the table's set and everything's great, there's two angels that escort us home from shul. The good angel says to the bad angel, when everything's great, let it be this way. Next week, and the bad angel grudgingly has to say Amen. And indeed, there's a beautiful book from the time of the Rishonim with Minhagim called Minhag Tov. And Minhag Tov number 36 says that on a Friday night, when you come home from shul, you should say, Malachei Rachamim, angels of mercy, Shalom u'boachem l'shalom, aleichem ha'shalom, lekulchem shalom. So there is a precedent for saying Shalom Aleichem. So what can be the problem? Rav Yaakov Emden in his Siddur says, the problem is the middle stanza. Bרכוני לשלום. We're asking the angels to bless us, and it's an age-old Isser not to request of angels. We only daven to God. That's a Yerushalmi in Tractate Brachot, chapter 9, subdivision 1, that says that the Jewish people does not daven not to Gavriel, not to Michael, two angels, but rather they daven to me, and I answer them. And therefore we can't daven to angels. He's not alone in this opposition. Rav Chaim Volozhiner said it, as well as was the practice of Rav David Feinstein, the father of the legendary Rav Moshe Feinstein. They did not say Bרכוני לשלום. And so what can be the justification? Comes along Rav Moshe Feinstein and says, with the greatest respect for my father, if the Jewish people have done it all these years, then it must be justified. Something he says in many contexts. And he says that ultimately requesting from angels is only prohibited when you request of them something that's not on the agenda of the angels originally. Namely, you start requesting of angels to let you win the lottery, to make your mortgage payments, to get better from your sickness. But if they have a job to do, namely, to bless you on a Friday night, it's a Gemara, God told them to, all you're asking them to do is basically to do what God said that they should do anyway. They have a job description for a Friday night, to follow Jews home from shul and to ultimately tell them to, may it be this way next week. So all you're asking them to do is what God told them to do. You're not requesting a new request. He's not alone in this. As a matter of fact, one of the people that wrote a perush to the Siddur of a Gra, the Gra who's very careful about these things, Rav Naftali Hertz Halevi, says that we're not requesting of them anything, but rather we're coming with a tviyah, with an actual demand. Do what God said for you to do on a Friday night. So from this perspective, it's not a request. All we're saying to them is, dear angels, do what you're supposed to do anyway. So to make a long story short, some Jews will sing Shalom Aleichem Friday night, will skip Bרכוני לשלום, bless us in peace, because it's requesting from angels. But those that say it basically will say that we're not requesting from them something that's not on the agenda already, but rather all we're asking them is, do what God said that you should do on a Friday night. In other words, you have a job description. We're just very subtly reminding you to do it. Requesting from angels would be prohibited if it's a new request, not on the agenda. But since it's on their agenda Friday night, when they leave wherever they leave, their heavenly abode, and they come to our homes, escorting us home from shul, they already have a job to do. And all we're telling them in a very nice way is, don't forget to do your job.
שיפוצך